guys are
functional
currently
government.
in a, cross-shaped room with a magic circle inscribed on the floor. The Empyrean and Gozar Bronstaff lie dead. To the south, up on a dais, is a plinth where his stone throne had previously sat. If you recall, it had crashed to the ground and broken into a few pieces. Visible to the south of that is a partially melted iron chest and a stone wall that previously had Gozer's personal rune glowing on it, though it is currently not glowing. To the north is a large, life-size stone statue of a nude Gozer wearing a cowboy hat and riding a donkey.
Does the cowboy hat have stars on it because he's a wizard?
Yeah.
Mm.
So this is where you guys stand.
All right. I ready disintegrate against the statue, and then remember that I have no spell slots above 2nd level.
Oh yeah, let's see where I'm sitting as soon as my character sheet opens.
I am sitting in unconsciousness, I believe.
Yeah, you're waiting to wake up, I think.
You're stable. You had you have 2 hours before your character wakes up.
Yeah, I believe I'm sitting at the level of unconsciousness. I am sleeping.
So what do you gentlemen do?
I loot Gozer's corpse.
Okay.
I seek to claim his spell book.
Well, he wasn't carrying one.
I shake my fist at the sky.
You notice, as there's a slight breeze, there's a bunch of ash over where his throne was. And you think that he probably had stacks of books over there before you incinerated it all.
Hmm. Hey, well, at least he killed him, right?
On his person, you find a dagger, some destroyed clothes, and a large yellow gem that seems to flash with a regular pulse to it.
I touch it with Identify. Casting.
Alright. So you're hot casting it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Identify tells you only its name. Control gem 3rd slot.
I pocket that. You said there was a chest?
There is a partially melted iron chest.
Goulash. Can you pry that open?
Good question. Can I pry it open?
You can certainly try. You make an athletics check.
Oh boy. Now, am I prying it open or am I prying it apart?
You basically just peel this thing apart like a banana.
Mm-hmm. You ever, you've seen the cool way to peel a banana where you grab the stem and you snap it so that it comes off that way? I would like for him to open the chest using that method.
Yeah, you just pick up and just snap.
Yeah.
And everything peels apart.
Yeah, he picks it up angular wise and then just snaps it down really quickly and it pops open.
Mm-hmm. And then spilling out onto the floor is a gold-plated trumpet, a coral stein, a cloak of feathers, and a delicate multicolored blown glass flower trimmed in gold.
Goulash, you want to carry that?
Oh yes, here we go.
Actually, wait, are you able to carry all of this and, Mister? Are you able to carry Mister? Mister, what's your name?
Mister's character's name.
My name is Bob. No, Uriel.
Okay.
All right,
there's
Goulash. Would you be able to carry, Bob? My name is Uriel.
Yeah, so a trumpet, a beer stein, a cloak, and a lily. Some of the stuff seems kind of fragile. I don't want to break it.
Do you want me to carry it?
No, I just wish I had like a container, one that wasn't melted.
I'm a Septimus. I come with many carrying cases. Take your pick as I hold out 3 sacks in a backpack.
I will take one of the sacks, and in fact, I might just devote one sack entirely to the blown glass lily, just like so it doesn't break in there.
How about I just run that back into my demi-plane?
Are you able to do that? I thought you didn't have any spell slots.
No, it's still open. It's open for an hour.
Oh, yeah, run it back into the demi-plane then.
Do we just want to stick all this in the demi-plane?
Sure.
Alright, we stick it all in the demi-plane.
I'd be fine holding on to the other stuff, but I'm really afraid that blown glass lily that's worth more than anything else that is here is gonna, shatter. And I don't think you can just do the trick of, wrapping the beer bottle in a sock so that they don't know you're smuggling in alcohol to your dorm. It's a little more fragile than that.
Personal experience?
Oh, yeah. That's the trick. It's so they don't rattle around in there.
The more I know that I won't actually be able to use.
But what that you won't have to use.
Fair enough. Alrighty.
Ooh, although I didn't learn that smuggling it into my dorm, I learned that smuggling them out of my place of work. But that's another story.
Indeed. Well, we still got 2 rooms to check. I'd like to run up and check the north room.
Okay, you go up to the closed wooden door.
I render the door unclosed.
It's locked.
Now, I want to point out, Gilbert, before you start running around, in there, that elf lady's still missing, and you have no spell slots. So, and I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I will leave Uriel to be managed by Octavius while I go and render that door unlocked.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I do only have, 2 hit points.
Well, Goulash, it is an athletics check for you to unlock the door from its confining door jamb. Yeah, you basically just kind of reach onto the door, kind of grab it, pull a little bit harder, and you guys just hear rending sounds. He just pulls the door. Locking mechanism still in the door jamb, free of the door jamb. There's just this little broken section of the door where the little hinges in the locking mechanism were.
He's the team's muscle and the safecracker.
Inside, you see a 40-foot diameter room, the center of which is dominated by a 20-foot diameter metal disc made of gleaming gray metal with 3 prongs extending equally spaced around the bottom. Thin little poles, resting on the floor that way. At the top, center, you can see what appears to be a glass dome.
Wait, is this a UFO?
It certainly looks like one.
That or it's like some kind of oversized dining tray. Like a lazy Susan with a glass cover.
Wait, how many prongs did you say there were?
3.
Oh, third from the left. I'd like to start checking this thing out.
Okay, so you're gonna climb on top of it, or what? Like, what are you actually doing?
Yes, I'd like to like climb up on top of this thing and see if I can figure out what it is and like how it's working.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Can I give him guidance while being unconscious?
Nope. All right. Well, yeah. Like the bottom appears to be smooth. These metal poles appear to be like part of this object. As you climb on top, the top surface is smooth. There's no lettering on it. As you approach the glass dome in the center, you can see that inside the glass dome is a cylindrical area sunk down into this object by about 2 feet. 3/4 of which is like a semicircular padded couch. And in the center front, it's actually facing the section's facing the door. You can see what appears to be a control console with a stick sticking out of the middle and 2 gems similar to that yellow one you found and 1 empty slot on your left as you look at it through the dome.
Mm-hmm. Well then.
Start pushing buttons.
I'd like to cast Identify on it with one of my 3 remaining spell slots. Sorry, 2 remaining spell slots.
Okay, you cast Identify. This identifies it as a Spelljammer. No further details available.
Is it Spelljammer 1 word or Spelljammer 2 words?
1 word.
Well, that explains why it looks like a UFO.
Bro, we have a Spelljammer. We have a Spelljammer ship.
Goulash.
Hmm.
Get Uriel and get on board.
I grab Uriel and I hop on board.
Okay, so all 3 of you are standing on top of this metal disc, closed glass dome at the center.
I don't want to break the glass dome, but can I lift it up? Is there like a hinge to get inside?
As you're looking at it, it does look like it has a hinge.
I lift up the glass dome so that we can all get inside.
Okay. Yeah, you start lifting on it. It doesn't want to lift up a bit, and you jiggle it around. And then you realize there's this little latch down there. And you gotta reach over, click goes the latch, and you can lift up the glass dome to gain access inside.
Alright. Once we're all in, I'd like to sit in front of that console and place this crystal on the you said the control lever that doesn't have one?
Well, it's like think of like a rounded console with 3 gem slots, a left, a center, and a right. The left and the center have this yellow gem in them. The right is empty, like a gem had been removed. And then sticking out of the floor is this tall rod with like a hand grip on the end.
All right.
And so you're sticking your gem in there? Is that what you said?
Could you repeat what this thing identified as, the gem, when I identified it?
It identified it as Control Gem number 3.
Control Gem 3. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I stick it in.
Okay. You guys begin to feel a vibration throughout this ship. The gems begin glowing with a pale yellow light. And hovering above each of them is text in common. The left button reading hover. The center reading land. The right button reads go, go, go.
I shall start by hovering it.
Okay. You push the hover button. You guys hear a bit of a schlicking sound as the 3 struts are retracted into it, and you can see that there's now like a bob and an ebb to it, relative to the walls of this room.
Does it make Jetson's hover noise?
It is utterly silent.
Wow.
You see a little sticky note. To do, add sound effects.
What I'm picturing is one of these things.
Close.
I'm honestly picturing like a bigger version of what you see in like Dragon Ball Z with Frieza's bubble chair.
Oh
yeah. Does it like, can I change its direction?
Well, how do you do that?
Does the hover lever look like it has directional movement?
It was a button. Like there's 3 buttons that have labels, and then this rod sticking out of the floor.
I will ever so carefully push the rod forward.
Okay, you begin pushing the rod forward. The craft begins to tilt forward.
Cool. Go, go, go! I hit the button.
Okay, you push the go, go, go button. Aha. Well then. So, the room around you disappears. And you find yourselves hovering in an endless, infinite grey mist.
We must be going.
You notice that the text that had said go, go, go has turned into a series of numbers and appears to be counting down every second.
Like a timer?
Like a timer. It
Does it
started
say anything
it
else?
started at 86,400 and appears to be counting down 1 per second.
That's like a day or so? Right?
It's 24 hours.
24 hours. Shit.
Well, we're going somewhere. You want to take a nap?
What does my planar knowledge that I might possess tell me about where we are?
Well, you've been here before. This looks like the ether.
Oh, it's a ship for the Astral Sea.
Wait, if we're in the ethereal plane, do we see, like, the weird, shadowy images of the stuff around us?
No, like I said, it looks like you're think of a foggy version of that Matrix loading area.
Okay.
So a white void, but there's fog?
Yeah, like a gray, misty void.
Right. And is it just like uniform gray, or is there like vague cloud shapes?
Make a perception check.
Alright.
Can I assist?
How do you assist with a perception check?
By also looking.
Sure, why not? Fuck it. So you can see some, like, movement, every now and then. It's not perfectly uniform in density.
Mm-hmm.
But you also notice that there does not appear to be anything here. Like, you don't see any solid objects. You don't see any lights or anything like that.
I wonder where it's taking us.
You do not feel a sensation of movement.
No, but we if Octavius is correct about where we are and the fact that we just pressed the go 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 button, then presumably we're going somewhere, even if it doesn't feel like it. I mean, did we feel the sensation of movement when we disappeared?
No.
Well, I don't know.
Perhaps we just need to wait.
Maybe. Well, we could just wait. I think we're in due need of some waiting time.
Indeed. You got a deck of cards?
No.
All right. Well, you guys spend a couple hours gaining a short rest, and Uriel waking up with 1 hit point.
Oh, cool. That means I get 9 levels of spells back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll get back my 9th level spell. Never hurts to have access to that.
Indeed. So with Uriel awake, level of exhaustion and 1 hit point, what do you guys do?
Well, we still have like a day, right? We could keep sitting around for another 8 hours.
I just want to wake up.
You're
You
awake.
did.
Oh, I did. Never mind then.
Yeah, you woke up. You were like propped up, Weekend at Bernie's style on the seat. And you can see out of this glass dome of this flying saucer this endless gray misty expanse of the ether all around you.
So, where are we? What did you do?
I hit
What did
go,
you-
go, go on the flying saucer spelljammer.
So do you know where we're going?
Nope.
Joy.
Don't worry. I can take us home whenever I need to.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure your magic works inside this ship?
Oh, I'm pretty confident. So, anyone got any games? No? Alright. Underdark, how much space is there in front of us?
This is a... What do you mean in front of you?
Like how much space do we have inside the cockpit here?
It's a 10-foot diameter area. Most of it, like the center forward section being this console and the joystick. The back, like 3/4 of the outer area are this couch. This padded circular couch.
Alright, well, in order to kill some time, I'm going to start by handing everyone a sheet of paper.
Well, if Octavius wants to be entertained, I could start by regaling him of tales with my adventures with the other previous Septimi, including some of the ancient Septimi that he might not even remember.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll go.
I mean, he was there, and he had his whole life to live during that time period. I imagine he would have hung out with at least some of them.
Probably. That seems like something a Septimus would do.
Yeah. There's Goulash is like all in the family records, going like all the way back.
With the weird lizard man that they've met.
Mm. He just keeps showing up.
Starting with great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpappy Numerous Septimus.
Well, if you're going back that far, you should be using Greek theming instead of Roman theming.
That's a good point.
Back to the original Septocles. Or, Septicles. There we go.
Septically. yeah. When the Ravam Empire was like a big thing, that's when it got all Latinized. Before that, it was Septicles.
Mm.
I like it. That's canon now.
Yeah, so you sit around talking about, the Septicles and the origins of the Septimi for about an hour. Another short rest passes. At the end of that hour, though, you notice that suddenly the console, the lights on it, with the gems and all that, go out.
I tap the console.
Okay, you tap the console. You also notice that the ship appears to be listing slightly. Like it's just floating in space without any control.
I try to regain control.
So you like grab the joystick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you grab the joystick, and where before there was like a little bit of force required to move it around to like tilt forward and all that, like it had some force feedback on it. It just feels loose and kind of weightless in your hand.
I would like to attempt to cast the light cantrip.
Nothing happens. And as the ship is listing,
shit.
you see off to the right
Oh, damn it.
a creature flying through the ether towards you. Its giant
Shit.
maw open, along with its single eye focused right on it.
Oh, damn it.
Shit.
You guys should roll initiative.
Oh, shit.
You asshole! You just stuck us in this ship and took off. We had no idea what we were doing. Now look at that thing! Isn't that an obelisk?
No,
That's an astral dreadnought.
Oh,
It's worse.
It's very worse. Fucking hell.
The Septimi finding new and improved ways to get everyone in danger.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to get us out of here. Oh wait, no, you can't. Shit.
Alright, Under. What do I know of the Astral Dreadnought?
That they are enormous and terrifying and haunt the silvery void of the ether. That's like they're monsters with a near, and they like just attack shit out here in the ether. Think like the Leviathans from Subnautica. They got that kind of reputation. They just sort of show up every now and then, and
Are a mild inconvenience, and then they die offering no loot?
that's what the crazy people talk about. But usually there's very few survivors. And they usually talk about, unstoppable, doesn't react much to getting hit. Its claws rend, people, armor, and ships without mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you did complete a short rest before this, so Uriel, if you wanted to roll more hit dice besides just the 3d10, you could. And Gilbert, did you roll initiative?
Oh, whoops! No, I didn't.
You might wish to do so.
Yeah. My apologies. I was busy saying "oh shit" a little too often.
And the way that the listing had been going, you're pretty sure this guy was approaching from below you guys, which is why you didn't see it. All right, Uriel. So, this, gargantuan dreadnought is approaching. It appears to be about 80 feet away.
I'm inside the ship, right?
You are inside the ship, yes.
All right. I think. I guess I am going to cast. I am going. I am going to look at the paladin. The barbarian, and I am going to cast enlarge on him.
Wait, we're inside an enclosed space.
Oh no! Wait, never mind. I'm gonna wait until he gets out of the closed space because he's going out there to fight that thing, right?
It's a bold assumption, but I was really hoping we had a better plan. I was really hoping we had a better plan.
In the astral sea? Are you dumb?
I'm not gonna fall into the astral sea when I get knocked off that thing or die.
There is one thing you would know about the astral sea, Octavius, and that you can usually float almost under your own control with your mind.
Oh, it's like how you can fly in dreams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You are at half your normal movement speed while doing so, but you can, basically everyone gains a fly speed at half their movement speed while in the ether, controlled mentally.
If it's an astral sea, can I use my swim speed here?
Sure.
Goulash is so dumb he believes it's water.
Well, he's not flying. He's very clearly swimming when you see him moving around.
Yeah, exactly. He makes swimming motions, and somehow that seems to grant him extra speed.
It only works for him.
So
Octavius marvels at this freak magical incident.
I am going to hold my action to cast enlarge on the barbarian if the barbarian leaves the ship.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right.
If the barbarian leaves the ship. If the wizard can get us out of this without the barbarian leave the ship, then I'll just waste the spell slot.
Okay. Octavius?
Yeah. Octavius.
Now's the time for you to do something.
How far away is it?
80 feet. 80.
80 feet. And the ethereal plane here operates on power of thought.
Yes. That's a good way to think about it.
Is there any other kind of contextual information Octavius would have come across.
You would also know that the Aether is known to have like environmental portals to other planes. And that, you know, in theory, if you were to get far enough away and find one such portal, you would be able to get out of here even if you don't have plane shift.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has plane shift, he just can't use it right now.
There's also the matter of having to find a portal.
Hmm.
Give me 1 second, I gotta read the details of the spell here. Because this will inform my decision making.
I don't know what spells you all think you're going to be casting.
Oh, look, it's for when I get to cast it. That's important. Okay. Well, I'm all out of my nifty bullshit. Am I able to use the power of my mind to move the ship?
You know, the one before you had telekinesis.
Make an intelligence athletics check. Essentially, this is an int check, and if you have proficiency in athletics, you may add your proficiency bonus. Yeah, you guys feel a bit of a jar as Octavius kind of just braces himself on like the console, and with the power of his mind, you begin to feel some sensation of movement. What direction are you intending to move it, Octavius?
Forward and down. Relative to the astral dreadnought.
So you were getting closer and dropping below him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you notice a little bit of movement. You think you moved 10 feet.
Alright, and this was...
That was an action.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You did the mental equivalent of getting out and pushing.
Indeed. That, yeah, I'll just keep the lid shut, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Goulash.
Alright. I will lift up the dome.
Uh-huh.
And slip outside of it, closing it behind me.
Okay. You slip outside of it, closing it behind you. Uriel goes as his reaction to cast that spell, but there is no effect, as you appear to be in an anti-magic field.
Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen. Well, seeing as how Septimus is doing the mental equivalent of getting out and pushing, I would like to attempt the physical equivalent of getting out and pushing.
Okay.
He's just going to, like, prop his hands up on the... wherever he can neatly put them on the disc and start pushing the ship in the same direction it's currently moving.
Okay. Well, yep, so you use your swim speed to kind of swim, to the relative back of the ship, and you start pushing. Go ahead and just make a strength athletics check.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Okay, yeah. What's your swim speed?
My swim speed is equal to my movement, which is 40. However, if on this turn I can use my bonus action to re-rage, which... let's see here.
Okay, I mean, pushing is an action, so you're using your action to push the ship.
I'm using my action to push. However, if I rage, I get to it says I can move up to my speed. I don't know if I would be able to use that movement towards what I'm doing here. I mean, you asked me what my speed was, so I'm doing something that's
because you're basically you would have been able to move it like a grapple at half your speed.
Right.
So I would say that using the rage, you'd be able to essentially get all 40 feet out of it.
Okay.
You know, so you just get to move half again.
Yeah, half and then half.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't dash because pushing it was my action.
Correct.
All right then.
All right.
And
so
if I keep pushing it, will that keep using my action?
Yes. Every turn you would have to push it again.
Right.
Basically, the ether operates on submarine physics.
Gotcha. Too bad I can't just make myself denser.
Right.
All right.
All right. So let's see. So you moved 10 and then 20. So you're at 50 feet away from this guy, roughly. At the end of your turn, Goulash, he's going to take a legendary action.
Wait, 10 and then 20? It should be 40.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're right. 40. So you're 20 feet away from this guy.
Yep, and then at the end of my turn.
Then at the end of your turn, he's going to take a legendary action to lash out psychically.
Ooh.
And I need the three of you to make wisdom saving throws.
Am I still close enough to the ship to be inside the aura?
Yeah.
More importantly, does the aura function in here?
The aura, I believe, is not a magical effect. It simply works as long as he is conscious.
Nice. What's your aura again? Is it 4 or 5?
4.
Alright.
Wisdom saving throws from all three of you.
Ooh, good roll.
That means you, mister. Mister, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure.
There you go. Fucking hell.
Oof. Goulash is the only one to pass this wisdom save,
Strange.
as he takes half of this.
What a weird world we live in.
Of 20 psychic damage each. Then it's his turn. And he is going to, just kind of rotate a little bit down and recenter you guys in that cone. And he's going to smash this ship twice with his claws. At 20 feet away.
He is big.
He is big. The saucer has an AC of 19 and 200 hit points.
And he's a big weenie butt face that can't hit anything.
Hey, Under, you're going to love this.
Go ahead.
So he just made an attack against the saucer, which is within 5 feet of me, and is not me.
Doesn't that specify it has to be a creature?
Ah, shit, maybe.
I'm asking because if it does not specify it has to be a creature, you're good.
No, it says target.
Then in that case, you're good. What do you do?
I will use my newly acquired Sentinel feat to make an attack of opportunity against the Astral Dreadnought.
He's 20 feet away. He's a 20-foot reach.
Claw.
Sure, you could try.
Yes.
Smack his big meaty claws.
All right, let me roll the damage.
Wait, what?
He does hit.
Ah.
So he does 71 points of piercing damage to the ship.
How much HP does my book have?
It had 200.
Is that one attack or two?
That was both attacks. But Goulash can now use his reaction to attack one of the claws as they're retracting.
And against my better judgment, I'm going to do this recklessly because I really want to.
I need him to make a wisdom save.
Why?
Because I'm going to rebuke the violent.
Okay.
So he better do that first, then.
He takes damage equal to what he dealt.
Wisdom save. 16 on the wisdom save.
That is, I believe that is a fail.
Okay, so he takes a 71 psychic damage. And then Goulash.
And then my attack of opportunity.
Which hits.
Nice. Alright, well, I'll roll damage for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which only deals 12 damage, but that's not what's important. What's important is that because I have Sentinel, his movement speed is now 0. For this turn.
Okay. Alrighty, then in that case, it is Uriel's turn.
Nothing like the Sentinel feat immediately coming in handy.
Right?
So what do we do? I can't cast spells in this aura, so...
You want to get out and push with me?
Can I help push?
If you get out, you can push, and that would be a strength athletics check, pushing from the outside. Or you can go to the console and try to push with your mind, which would be an intelligence.
Need intelligence athletics?
Yes.
Intelligence athletics?
Yes, pushing with your mind is intelligence athletics. Pushing with your body is strength.
I don't really want to get out there, so... My intelligence is 10, so it'll be just a 20 to roll.
Are you proficient with athletics?
No.
Okay, then yeah, it'll end up just being a flat d20 to move it with your mind, if that's what you're doing.
That, because I don't want to get out there.
Okay, well, roll it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, unfortunately, you are not sufficiently mentally powerful enough that it does not move this time. I will tell you, the DC to get it moving is 10. How far you go above that is going to affect how far it moves. There's a couple of different bands.
And we're still in an anti-magic field, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so... Right. So... I can't do anything, I don't believe. I use that. You know what? That is considered... No, that's not a saving throw, is it?
That was an ability check as an action.
Yeah, I can't use my favored by the gods then, yeah. So, I am done, because there's nothing I can do.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he takes a legendary action to strike the ship with a claw.
And he misses like a giant weenie.
Not at all.
I guess my vicious mockery doesn't work because I'm in that anti-magic cone.
Dealing 38 additional damage to your ship. Your ship is now bloodied.
Why did we come in here in the first place? Just for shits and giggles?
I mean, we didn't know this was going to happen. We had no way of knowing this.
Someone pushed a button labeled go, go, go.
Take the ship. We didn't know what it was.
Yeah, we did.
Alright, Octavius.
Alright, with the power of my mind, I'd like to push its eyeball in a different direction.
Okay.
I don't know, make it blink. You know what I mean? I like to punch it in the eye with my mind.
Sure. You can use intelligence athletics or intelligence acrobatics to attempt to shove its eye.
Oh, intelligence acrobatics, please.
Okay.
the mental Three Stooges maneuver.
Right.
I guess it's just one finger.
Well, here's the really fun part.
He is larger than you, so you are at disadvantage.
Why don't you just move the ship? It seems kind of dumb.
Shut up, mister.
Well, I mean, seriously, you're just gonna poke it in the eye? The thing's gonna turn around and smash the ship. Hell, we ain't got many hit points left.
Question on this. Question.
Mm-hmm.
In a realm where the mind has such an influence, does size really matter?
Good point. No.
Yes!
However, intellectually, it is much larger than you.
I don't know. I got a 20 in.
Well, you got to beat a 15.
What do you mean does size matter? Of course it matters. Look how big its head is. Its brain is like the size of your whole body.
Wait.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Wait, if size doesn't matter, why does it have advantage?
Because he's making a physical check. You're pushing against his eye. You're making a mental check. So you got rid of your disadvantage.
Fair enough.
Moron. You know, I don't like to end all my campaigns in death. You know, you might, but I'd like to survive and win the campaign, not end in death.
Yeah, mister, quit whining. 100% of problems can be solved. Well, it looks like it successfully blinked harder than I poked it in the eye.
Unfortunately for you, yes.
However, it did blink.
No, it didn't.
Oh.
He was basically, if he had succeeded, he would have shoved the eye, which would have rotated the cone away from the ship.
Mm-hmm. Just like what we did with those beholders in a different world.
Exactly. Anything else, Octavius?
No, I will merely attempt to acclimate myself to this weird new world.
Alright. At the end of your turn, he's going to take a legendary action and attack the ship with a claw. He crit the ship, dealing 67 more damage to the ship. You know, there's now cracking on the glass dome. The ship is critically damaged. Goulash.
I will continue pushing us away.
Well, you were originally pushing him toward, so what do you mean continue away?
Oh. I thought we had sort of passed it by now.
No, you guys had gone towards it at a slight angle downward, essentially passing right in front of it.
Oh. Well, if we keep going down, will we eventually get underneath it?
Eventually, yes.
Alright.
You are 20 feet away from it.
Okay. If I keep pushing down, will that put me further or closer?
Down would technically put you further away from him. What I think you're actually asking is that if you were to continue on your path, in about 30 feet, you would pass out of his line of... he would include his own line of sight. Which I think is the question you're trying to get at.
That is the question I'm trying to get at. Well, just to allow that to happen, I will bonus action rage again.
Okay. And then strength athletics check. Alright, yeah, you push it 40 feet. You know, getting real close to him, but under and out of his line of sight. With some sparking and smoke, lights come alive inside the ship's control column. Klaxons are blaring. The gems are glowing bright red.
Wait, it can do this while being in an anti-magic cone?
He passed underneath him, and the anti-magic cone is being occluded by the Dreadnought's own body.
If If that took 30 feet of movement, I would like to stop pushing so I can use the rest of my movement to get back inside the ship.
Yeah, you can do that.
Gilbert, get us the fuck out of here! Or, Octavius, get us the fuck out of here!
You have a lot of family baggage with me, don't you?
You do see, Goulash, as you're getting back into the ship, that those 3 gems are now glowing bright red.
Which gems are those again?
Well, previously, from left to right, they had been labeled Hover, Land, and Go, Go, Go. After you had teleported, they had stayed yellow, but the one that said Teleport had began a countdown. Currently, there is no text above them. They are simply glowing bright red.
I will attempt to push the one that said Go, Go, Go.
Okay. You push the one that said Go, Go, Go. The gems go out.
Oh, shit.
Goulash, please roll a D100.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see. You appear 40 feet in the air in a vertical dive. The unpowered ship, with you guys in it, plummeting to what looks to be a hill directly beneath you.
This is better.
You are currently falling towards this hill. Do you guys have any reactions you want to do before you hit it?
Yes.
I would like to press the button that used to say hover.
The buttons are not glowing, and pushing the button does nothing.
Under.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like to cast Featherfall.
Are you sure?
Am I...
Read the first sentence very carefully, and consider where you are.
Well, towards a hill, you said?
So you guys are inside this dome.
Oh, right. We're inside it. Sorry, at some point I thought like the dome would have shattered from the attack.
It had cracked. It had not yet shattered.
Ah, okay.
This guy, that thing was not smart enough to attack the vital bridge first. It was literally chewing its way from the outside through this thing.
Any reactions?
Yeah.
I mean, we can use our reactions to jump out.
So we're not in the ether anymore?
Currently, no. You're immediately, like, you're 40 feet above a hill, plummeting to the ground. The ship appears to have lost all power with that last teleport.
I mean, we'll probably be fine.
And all I have to work with here is a reaction.
Yes, you have one reaction before you guys hit the ground. I'm asking if anyone wants to do anything before I tell you what happens.
Can I jump off the door?
You know what? I'm just going to brace for impact.
Yeah.
Can I jump out the door?
Sure. You jump out the door.
Wait, we can do that with our reaction? Well then, yeah, I'll jump out too.
Okay. Use your reactions. You two of you jump out. Goulash, are you jumping out or bracing?
I'll jump out in case it explodes.
You guys jump out and fall 40 feet to the ground onto this hill.
Negative. I float down gently.
Does that require a reaction?
I have the ring of feather falling.
Does that require... Yeah, I can't remember. Does that require a reaction?
I think it's always active, isn't it?
Okay. I'm checking. Yes. So for you, yeah, you're just falling. You're just hovering slowly down. The other two guys fall the 40 feet and take 15 bludgeoning damage. As does the ship.
Bye.
Oh god, my spleen.
You guys can see the ship badly damaged with 9 hit points remaining, vertically, partly embedded into the grassy side of this hill. The ship is still relatively intact.
How big is this thing?
It is a 20-foot diameter, 10-foot tall disc with like a bubble on top that's 10 foot in diameter.
Can me and Goulash pull this out of the ground and set it back up?
Yes, you could. Like between the two of you, it's not a problem. You can just kind of pull it out of some soft, ground. You can set it down. It's all like the front of it's all mingled up where the dreadnought had taken his claws to it. The glass dome is cracked.
So
Under.
Does anybody fabricate?
Do I think we'd be able to like push this through with a little bit of finagling through the door of a demiplane?
Oh, what's the size of the door of a demiplane?
Hey, why do you want to do that?
So, the size of a door of a demiplane is large enough to allow medium creatures to pass through unhindered.
Okay, this is larger than that. This is a 20 by 20 disc.
I'm curious as to why you want to put it in the demiplane.
It's just safe storage space.
Basically, the opening to a demiplane is 5 feet in diameter. This is a 20-foot diameter disc. It will not fit.
I wasn't sure if, because of the vague wording there, if I could alter the size at all to give it just enough room to kind of squeak it in on the corners.
You could, but it would not be able to. You just don't have the surface area to work with here.
All right. Where are we?
You were on a grassy hill. I suppose you could try to make a history check to ID where you are.
I do like history checks.
The sky is still blue here, right?
Sky is still blue. Though the sun looks to be getting close to setting.
And there's just one?
There is just one.
Alright.
Only one moon, too. You're not sure, Octavius. It's a grassy hill. They kind of all look alike. You don't see any signs of civilization around you.
Oh God, Ron Namek. Let's just rest here, guys.
So you're taking a long rest?
I think so. We could probably use it.
Guys, here's a question. Do we really want the ship?
We can decide that in the morning.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm sure the ship would be very useful. I have a bigger one, but I'm sure it would still be useful. Actually, that reminds me. I think I told them to wait for a week, and it hasn't been a week yet.
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Okay, so you guys are just all going to sleep?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, you guys all go to sleep. The night passes without incident. Morning comes, and you've had a successful long rest.
Awesome. Long rest. Wait, when did we get the Namek?
I just posted that because our ship just crashed on a grassy hill, and it was what it made me think of.
Water is... We are on Namek?
The sky is blue.
The sky is blue.
You don't see any weird lollipop trees.
Yeah, none of that.
What's up?
The terrain and the bushes look like what you're used to. There's nothing weird and alien about the landscape. You're just not sure where you are.
So what you're saying is the landscape sounds weird and alien.
Only in the mundane sense.
Only in the sense that you're on a grassy hill among other grassy hills, and there's lots of places in Lyris that this could be.
Given what Octavius now knows about Arcturus, who fucking knows where we are?
I mean, true. You could end up, going over the hill and seeing, a city called Neverwinter or something. But yeah, morning has come. Successful long rest. You notice that, with the dawn, the ship's buttons are once again glowing yellow. And you can see that the countdown has advanced on the go, go, go button. 8 hours. Well, 9 total.
Do we want to be in the ship when that happens?
I mean, first thing I'm doing, Underdark, I open a demiplane.
Okay. You open demiplane.
I step inside.
Okay. You step inside. It is your demiplane.
I cast Wish in order to create a clone of Goulash.
Sure.
Hey, Goulash. How old is Goulash?
He's probably in his, mid to late 30s.
I'll set this clone to be, a little bit younger.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll just go with the current time. And then I will leave the Goulash clone demiplane.
Okay. You can see your badly damaged ship just sitting there on the hill. Birds flapping overhead. Apparently they're seagulls. It is a bright, clear day.
Does it smell like we're near the ocean?
It does not.
No.
Well, I'd like to get to work on repairing this thing if I can find a way.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
Can I get guidance?
I don't know, can you?
I don't know, can I?
I don't know. I mean, I know guidance. Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, I'm asking if you're doing it.
I mean, are you going to do some sketchy shit? I will give you guidance anyway.
Lucky on the 3.
Man, you guys rolls tonight.
Even with guidance, you suck. Look at you.
I'll take the 18. I guess Octavius is still mentally exhausted from fighting Gozer.
I guess so.
Wizard duels, they take a lot out of you.
Okay, so you can see 3 possible methods for repairing the ship. You think that the mending cantrip could restore 1 hit point at a time. As in, casting a mending would heal for 1 hit point. If you have Tinker's tools, you think that with 10 gold worth of metal and other miscellaneous replacement parts in about an hour, you could heal it of a D4. With the same 10 gold of replacement parts and the Fabricate spell, you think it would be repaired for a D10.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I might be able to get it running in a while. Wait, sorry, Under, what was the conversion of 10 gold in Fabricate?
10 gold of parts, like metal components. Really just metal. Like there's like bits missing. You need to replace it. And a casting of Fabricate will give you a D10 of hit points for this thing.
Yeah, guys, I can repair this, but it's going to take a long-ass time.
Well, and the thing is going to go off before that.
What, go, go, go?
Yeah, it's going to go somewhere.
I don't think it is.
Isn't the countdown still going?
I think that's a cooldown.
Oh, maybe.
Anyone here have the ability to fly? Alright. Hey, Under?
Yes.
I would like to cast telekinesis on
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
I'm going to start lifting myself up into the air.
Alright.
Why are you... What? What are you doing?
I'm doing that Dragon Ball Z thing where I just kind of float up into the atmosphere. What do I see around me, Under?
What do you see? Pull up the map.
My wizard eyes. What do my wizard eyes see?
Wrong map.
Post map, it's Icewind fucking Dale.
No, it's not. Okay, so you float up, and you can see great expanse of, grassy hills kind of floating to the north and to the south. To the far southeast, almost at the horizon, you can see what appears to be some structure. And also far to the northwest.
You know what? I'm going to walk back over to that demiplane that I opened. I'm going to toss a whole bunch of my shit in there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to dispel the demiplane.
Okay.
That way it closes. That's how that would work, right?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure I didn't just banish everything inside it. Right, seriously, that just closes the door, right?
Yes, that just closes the door.
Oh, okay, had to be certain. Do you want me to roll for it?
Sure.
I'll slap a 4th level on here. Wait, no, a 4th level wouldn't change anything.
That is correct.
Lucky.
Okay.
There we go.
It closes as you finally roll above a 10.
Alright, Goulash, should you die horribly, you'll be reappearing inside of that demiplane. Don't worry, I tossed some food and water in there.
Interesting.
But otherwise, there's no way out.
I mean, I'll be able to get him out.
Yeah, but I guess you would know if I died.
Right. And if I die, I'll just be able to get myself back out and then get you out. Consider it a repayment for all the siblings you assisted.
Oh, Lord.
What?
What are we fixing to do now?
Hopping into the UFO and the Spelljammer and hovering.
Is that what you guys do?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You hop into the Spelljammer, push the hover button. It takes off, hovering above the hill.
Does it make broken jalopy noises?
It is making broken jalopy noises. There's a little bit of smoke coming out. There's a check engine light illuminated on the console.
Yeah, I guess I'll just kind of hover us over towards town.
Okay. So how are you doing
Whichever
that?
way that is.
Which way are you headed?
Didn't you say there were structures down to the south?
I did, yes. Okay, you're going to that southeast structure you saw.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you grab the joystick, and using the power of your mind, you're able to control its lateral motions. Having experienced that in the astral sea, or ether, I should say. You begin flying towards this structure, which, as you get closer, begins to loom in the distance, and you can recognize the outer fortifications as the free city of Havia. It would appear you had crashed in the Adari cairns.
Just because it's been a while, this is the place where we started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Gozar lived, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, well, you know where to take this this flying machine, then. Clearly, we have to land it on the other, larger flying machine.
Are they waiting?
They should be. It's been less than a week. Unless some weird time shit happened.
Nope. You can see your airship docked at the Havia docks.
I fly this over and park it on board.
Mm-hmm. The gnomes all kind of run over, making, excited gnome noises. You hear calls to get toolkits.
Alright, well, I can have these guys repair the ship. While they're doing that, I believe we have payment to go collect.
Oh, I will very specifically tell the gnomes to not hit the go, go, go button. It sounds exciting, but it will take you to a place of, of existential dread and doom.
Emphasis on the dread.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, no, we got it. We got it from here.
Insight check.
Oh, don't worry, these guys are cool.
Sure, make an insight check. He seems to be considering you a bit of an idiot. After all, who would push a go 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 button on this without a clear destination in mind?
I mean, it seems like it can just take you anywhere at random.
Well, yeah, if you don't, focus on a certain destination, your exit vector is probably going to be random.
Yeah.
Is that like common knowledge under?
Not at all.
Okay.
Gnomes, man.
Yeah, well, anyway, don't go fucking with the infinite improbability drive while we're going and getting paid.
Okay. Hey, what does that do? You just hear, like, noises. He's, like, digging through consoles.
And then it disappears.
It disappears, the airship explodes, and there's a huge, like, just rift that forms in the ocean. He hit go, go, go in reverse.
Then you hear a voice after he says, "Oh, hey, what's this do?" Who the hell puts a bottle of champagne in the middle of the navigation system? Well, mine now.
Yeah, that tracks.
Let's go get paid.
Yeah, do we know where we're supposed to meet What's-Her-Face to confirm that the job is done?
Yeah, we head back to that tavern.
Alright, you guys head back to the Shouting Cup. You see the publican behind the bar, an Earth Ganassi named Cobblestone, doing the stereotypical mug cleaning. You're pretty sure he's got like one mug that he just keeps cleaning over and over again.
Is it the cleanest mug?
Yes. But whenever he serves someone, he like reaches underneath the counter and pulls out new mugs.
He's been cleaning it for so long that like you wouldn't even want to drink out of it anymore because the edge is so round down. Like it's hard to break the surface tension on it. It's just awkward to drink out of.
And he kind of rumbles you in. Ah, you made it back.
And in one piece.
That's good. More than most can say. What can I do you for?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you for the name of that character, whose name I've totally forgotten.
Lady Furlafang Dell?
That's the one. Yes, Lady Dell here.
Yes, she's in the parlor. She's expecting you.
Right.
Yeah, you guys caused quite a commotion making that mansion disappear in all of its contents.
I don't remember doing that.
Well, there's just a hole in the foundation.
Indeed. It's almost as if the whole thing had been nothing but an elaborate illusion that had collapsed.
Well, there's no way that can be up to code.
That's really certainly not. Oh, I'm sure it wasn't. And the inspectors that had been bribed are certainly going to be needing to do some bribing of their own, if you understand my meaning.
Wait, illusion or conjuration, perhaps?
He shrugs. I couldn't rightly tell you the difference.
Well, with one, the house isn't there at all. With the other, the house is actually there. It's just magical. It's like the difference between me making a dragon appear in your tavern versus me actually putting a real dragon in your tavern.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. Best not to keep the lady waiting.
I'd like to insight check what he meant by that.
Sure, make an insight check. He seems to be implying that if you did that, it would not be the first time a dragon had appeared in his establishment.
Yeah, I'd believe it.
Like casually, or implying that, say, there might be a dragon here now?
He said it casually. Like without blinking, without seeming hurried or anything like that. He doesn't appear to be particularly stressed.
Okay. Look, man, I just don't trust NPCs.
Fair enough. They keep betraying you.
They do. They're all stab-happy backstabbers.
I don't suppose Lady Dell has like a sort of airy silver motif going on with her, does she?
She does a bit, yeah.
An airy silver motif.
No, well, I wouldn't know anything about that. Anyway, let's go see her.
Let's.
Okay. Yeah, you walk in there. She appears to be drinking some tea. And on the table, you can see 3 large burlap sacks, loosely tied. She says, congratulations on completing the task. It was done with, quite a bit of expertise, I should say.
Well,
she motions to the sacks. Your reward, well earned.
Inside check.
Sure. She's
lucky.
Okay. Yeah, she seems to just be drinking her tea and treating this like any other business transaction. You did her task for her. She is here to pay you.
Right. Just like any business transaction. Does she kill her people after hiring them? Does something seem funny here?
Nothing seems out of place.
Of course not.
She's
got a reputation to maintain.
You don't see, assassins waiting in the rafters to drop down on you.
That wouldn't make sense anyway. She hired us to kill somebody that she couldn't take care of herself. Who's she going to send?
So what do you guys do when she says that and motions to the sacks?
Goulash is going to grab one of them.
Okay, yeah. Jingle of coins.
Octavia shall take another.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming Uriel takes his.
Oh no, guys, I want you to take it. Oh, thanks, Father Uriel. Well, I guess that you're so magnanimous. We'll take your paycheck.
Sure, no. you can take my paycheck.
Wow, what a wonderful paladin. Truly, he is the most pious of them all, taking such a vow of poverty.
Well, I'm sure you've got your work cut out for you now that your main political opponent is out of the picture.
Oh, indeed. So, the elections coming up will be much easier with your efforts.
Well, now that we've got some money, I don't suppose you know a good place to buy an army around here.
Buying an army?
Oh, well, that was the reason I came here in the first place. See, I've got this big nation full of undead that I'm trying to conquer, but we lack the manpower right now. Things have come to a bit of a stalemate, you see.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could hire a ship from here if you need to transport across the ocean.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
Well then
you've probably seen my ship.
Oh, that's yours. Okay. Then in that case, I would recommend going across to the sea, making contact with the Koodle group. A bit of a rough sort that they are, but if you were looking to hire, mercenary marauders, I can't think of anybody better to suit it on land. If you're looking for more naval, perhaps the pirates of Avolia would better serve you.
Well, I'd rather not work with pirates. They're an unfaithful bunch. What do I know about Koodle mercenaries under?
Well, you know that the Koodle group is it's essentially like a military dictatorship between Ikristan and the Duchy of Itranata around the Laside Mountains. They're known for kind of a Great Khan style of governance. They show up to a village and demand a a tribute be given to them. Refusal is death and enslavement. And they're headed by a Generalissimo Waters.
But they offer their mercenary services, so I could like contract a bunch of them to come out to what's it called? The undead Arkazar. I can contract a bunch of them to come out to Arkazar.
Yes. Basically, when she recruits people, she prefers to use bloodied soldiers in her battles. And an easy way cheap way to get her soldiers bloodied without having to risk, military positions, is to simply hire out her companies of recruits to other people as mercenaries. They get combat experience, you get a mercenary group, she gets paid. Win, win, win.
Of course, I'm sure transporting all of these people from a sort of Khanate-themed society far from home, offering them all the plunder they could ever want, being led by a guy who fights off astral dreadnoughts with his bare hands. They might come to respect me a little more by the end of that.
They very well might.
Yeah, Goulash says, stroking his chin. Alright, well, what do you two think? You want to head there next?
Under.
Mm-hmm.
A politics question. So, actually, first of all, the Ravam Remnant, what's the name of the continent it's on?
I never gave the continents names.
Okay, so I'll just call that Mass Ravam.
Like the Eastern Continent and Western Continent.
So, in the case of Ravam, if Goulash were to, say, contract out these mercenaries and successfully, like, actually, I should say, how large are these groups that are usually contracted out on average?
An average company is about 1,000 men.
Mm-hmm. What's the general military disposition of the Koodle group? Like, how many of these companies do they typically let a single person acquire?
Depends how much gold you got. Generally speaking, there are 1,000 men that are armed with spears and shields and leather armor. They're light infantry. Actual, regulars are generally going to be armed in medium armor with heavier weapons, pikes and the like. So as for companies available, typically she only has 2 or 3 ready to go. She raises them as she needs them. Through like a medieval levy system.
All right.
And she doesn't have like an explicit limit that she sets in terms of how many companies she would let one person hire.
Right. I ask this because there's always that risk of co-opting their loyalty and launching a coup. That sudden drain on localized manpower.
Mm-hmm. That is a risk, yes. But that's what they do.
What about the Holy See? They'd have an interest in, at the very least, the north coast of that region, yes?
Yeah, what about the Holy See?
Well, they exist right next to a country ruled by the undead.
Mm-hmm. I remember earlier in the campaign you mentioned that, they tended to be engaged in a rather tense naval, Cold War, with the occasionally launching raids against the other side.
Yes. They were doing that.
Have they become more involved with the collapse of Arkazar?
Maybe not yet.
Not yet. Not really. The Sea of the Masked Gods doesn't have exactly a large ground-bound military force. Their ground troops are much more defensive orientated. They do have, a fairly strong navy, given their position and status. And for the most part, they've been using that to attempt to interdict shipments of weapons from the Evrevia Empire that are supporting Arcazar. They haven't been 100% successful at that simply because of the size of the ocean and the gigantic length of coastline the Confederation has. But that has been what they've been doing, is trying to stem the tide of shipments of arms and armor from Evrevia to Arcazar.
Right. Well, here's my plan. We go to the Sea of the Masked Gods, and we use their goodwill that I have with them because of a certain thing that I did a very long time ago for them, and that they helped me do.
Actually, wait, didn't you spill all the details on that during those rests?
I would have left that particular part out because I don't want any of the Septimi going over there and messing with that.
What, trying to bring down the church?
No, not that part. I mean the part where I defeated Zugtami. Well, I mean I would have talked about that, but I would have left out the part about how Zugtami is still alive in a time loop along with Arcturus.
Okay. So we're going with the Arcturus is dead, not Arcturus is, locked in a repeating time. Okay.
Goulash never told you about your father.
Right. That's not true. It's impossible.
He told me enough. He told me Zugtami killed him.
The church killed your father. Alright.
Look into your heart. You know it to be true.
You fought in the Shroom Wars?
Wait, does that mean you included the time travel stuff?
That was the Shroom Wars, yes.
Alright.
That's going to be the name of that, isn't it?
That's what it's called now. I mean, yeah, so we go to the Sea of the Masked Gods, and we get their ships from them to transport a purchased force of Kudal mercenaries across the sea to Arcazar. Meanwhile, all of the forces of Frippidinth and the gnomes will come in from the opposite direction to deal a final decisive blow against the Liches. In a two-pronged pincer attack.
We might be able to do more than just that.
It's mostly on the northern side of the mountains, you said, where they're still holding out, right?
Well,
I thought it was the coasts.
It's the coasts.
No, it's both
the
coasts.
mountains. The mountains. The giants and the dragons and the gnomes have kind of taken the mountains, but the coastlines are still controlled by the Confederation. Even with magic, trying to stretch supply lines across a lot of tundra is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A question regarding the Society of the Spiritual Ribbon. What is their general view of the Ravam Empire, in a historical sense? And then the current state of, what it sounds like, tension between all the successor states?
There have been good leaders and bad leaders. There have been, men of the people and absolute tyrants. And they don't really take a stance on the politics of the Ravam remnants and the successor states and their tension. They see that tension as just natural of having multiple states. They're more concerned about if say someone was to rise in Icaristan and started slaughtering all the elves for no reason, that would concern them.
All right.
They don't really get involved in the political level of things. At least they shouldn't.
All right.
And what I mean by that is that they go after people who are evil and tyrannical. They don't, and they'll absolutely remove somebody. Like they'll try to assassinate they have no problem assassinating some evil tyrant. And that's a political thing, but they don't care so much about, like, two wars of nominally non-evil people going to war over a disputed lake or something. That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's just normal.
Right. So it sounds like the Koodle Group's leader is kind of a huge douchebag, right? Definitely classifiable by that evil label.
Depends on your perspective, I suppose. You would not have enough information to make a judgment like that as a character. She could very well just be, guarding her borders, and that's just how she runs things.
Because it might be possible, Goulash, to use this situation with Arkazar to... We might be able to get more forces by leveraging the other Ravam successor states.
Do you think they would go for that? I mean, they haven't done it already.
Well, the Sea of the Masked Gods provides a rather suitable navy. The Koodle Group can supply soldiers. The other successor states might very well wish to get in if we can leverage the right incentives.
All right. Remind me, where is that again? That's
the Ravam Remnant. I should say Ravam composes that landmass that's in the west.
Oh, like all across there?
Mm-hmm. Looks like geographically, under probably the Sea of the Masked Gods and the Principality of Bessian probably suffer the most from Arkazarian raids.
Maybe the Vepinad dynasty. Although that's a little far.
Sorry, what was your question?
So, based on how the map looks, it looks like probably the Vepinid dynasty, Principality of Bessian, and the Sea of the Masked Gods suffer the most from Arkazarian raids, right?
The Vepinids, not so much. The Sea and Bessian, absolutely. They also tend to... they tend to leave Machivaria alone because it's part of their trade link to Averia. But also the Duchy of the Bay is not friendly with them. If you recall, they've been locked in a spy wars for many years.
Well, it's entirely possible, Goulash, we might be able to pull in a couple of the other states.
Maybe.
Enough to tip both fronts and secure the entire peninsula.
Yeah, well, we should probably start with the Sea of the Masked Gods.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, if we can get them on board, we'll have a navy. Plus, like, most people on the Western continent worship the Masked Gods, I imagine. And since we're going off to fight the undead, we could frame it as a crusade.
I mean, pretty much the whole world worships the Masked Gods. They are the gods.
Yeah, if we can get the Sea of the Masked Gods on board, then the rest will follow. We're going to retake the unholy land.
Okay.
A part of me wonders if we can use this to reforge the Ravam Empire.
Hey, don't you get any ideas?
Is it a go off your crusade?
Well, think about it.
It's always people like you that make the crusade go south.
What? No. That's a different thing over the Crusades.
Alright, well, now that we've collected our... Yeah, wait, how much did we get paid again?
10,000 each. Gold.
10,000 each. Alright, well, I'll write down my 10,000.
Yeah.
We get 10,000?
You get 10,000 gold for having successfully killed Gozer Bronstaff. And you guys are then heading to using your airship to get to the Sea of the Masked Gods?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, are we in a question?
Mm-hmm.
Are we in a town?
You're in the free city of Havia, a major city.
Okay, well then, I'm assuming we're buying all our gear and everything we need?
Oh, this is a good point. We should sell all that stuff we found.
I mean, yeah, get all our gear, because I got to buy spell components. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to buy, like, 10,000 gold pieces. I'm buying at least 5 sets of each of my spells.
You can get all that in Havia, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to buy enough spell components so I don't have to worry about it no more. Need to get rid of all our junk and, yeah. And then sail off in our little airship to wherever we're going.
Mm-hmm. You can easily do that.
It's like Final Fantasy VII. We get in our airship, fly to the final dungeon, confront Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, if we sell all that stuff we found, that should be like 725 platinum. If I have my math right.
Okay.
I said that because if anybody's ever
played... sorry, 275 platinum, excuse me.
Disc 3 is all about flying to the main boss and fighting the main boss. That's all it's on Disc 3. You leave from town, fly to the main boss.
Although, Pete, you are absolutely correct. I am kind of eyeing Ravam.
Remember, whatever choices you make will affect our next characters.
Mm-hmm. I'm playing Crusader Kings over here.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Look, the Septimus family line took some rather substantial hits.
I got an immortal character that I can meet again.
Yeah, what I mean here is the Septimus family line has taken some rather bloody hits.
All right. So yeah, you guys conclude your business in Havia, jump on your airship, and begin flying to the Sea of the Masked Gods. Along the way, the gnomes repairing your little Spelljammer flying saucer. And also painting like a blue racing stripe on it.
Oh shit, I'm flying
that. Learn how these little fuckers control this thing? How to build it and shit?
The airship?
Yeah. Are you going to want to learn how to control it and everything? With the gnomes, man. The gnomes.
Yeah, they will absolutely teach you guys how to run an airship. Which, over the couple of weeks it would take to fly to the Sea of the Masked Gods would give all of you proficiency with vehicles, airships.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right. Well, I think our first stop is the Sea of the Masked Gods.
Indeed.
I expect to see like big mosaics and stained glass windows of me choke slamming Zuggtmoy off of that floating city.
There is a small like shrine dedicated to your defeat of Zuggtmoy, along with the other major battles of the eras.
Excellent.
Awesome. What's it look like?
So I'm imagining it's like a big. Well, I don't know how big it is, but it's got like the city crashing into the ground behind us. So it's like a big sort of semicircle coming up out of the landscape. You know, fire and pieces of it raining down all over the place. And then, like, in the center, surrounded by, like, a glowing aura of light, leaving a trail going up into the sky as we're falling, is, like, me and Zuggtmoy locked in combat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like a squarish building. And in the back, there's this beautiful mosaic of the flying city crashing into the ground and exploding. You know, there's a picture of Zuggtmoy at the bottom of this mosaic being killed. But you're not in the mosaic. Rather, opposite this wall is the doors you walk in, and above it, like on a cathedral's rosette, is a big stained glass window of you, Goulash. And throughout the day, as the sun moves, the sun coming through the stained glass projects an image of you on the mosaic.
Wow!
And as the sun moves, you get closer and closer to Zuggtmoy. And at the time you killed her is the time when your image is right, like with your hands at Zuggtmoy's throat.
It's almost like she's being defeated over and over again every day.
Every day. Over and over again.
He didn't kill Zuggtmoy, though.
Yes, he did. He dealt the killing blow. With a little bit of help from gravity.
And also me being disintegrated while carrying a scroll that was designed to trick us the entire time.
That part's left out of the official story.
Yeah.
Goulash gets to be the hero, so
That point was like, we were still that thing, and then the whole world reset, and she fell to her death again.
And again, and again, and again.
And you guys were this close to being caught in it, too.
But Goulash was managed to get free.
The only survivor.
Yeah, well, the only survivor now. Beta helped you get out of there, but now Beta's dead.
Right, the only survivor.
The only survivor.
Vengeance will be ours.
Alright, well, where do we go to get an audience with the Pope?
Well, if you're trying just to get ships, you wouldn't want to talk to the Pope. You'd want to talk to the cardinal that, oversees, the Navy.
Let's talk to let's talk to him then. Let's find him.
Yeah, the Naval Adjunct's office is where you'd want to go.
Alright, I think we go there.
Yes, we go there.
Okay.
Do those giants that live up in that mountain with Frippy-Dinth have a name, like, for their society? I've just been calling them the Giants this whole time.
They did. Since you lived with them the whole time, I'll leave that to you. You can name them.
Let me see. Well, they live in the Peaks of Death, so it should be something tied to that. The Giant Lords of the Death Step. There we go.
All right, yeah. Yeah, and, so you're at the, off the Naval Adjunct's office. There's a somewhat bored clergyman, sitting at a desk. Yes, what are you here for?
Well, you see, I represent the Giant Lords of the Death Step and the Army of Frippy-Dinth, and I'm here with a proposal for a use of the Seas Navy.
I see. And you're looking to get a audience with the Cardinal Agathon?
Yes, I would like an audience with Cardinal Agathon.
Let me look at the book. Pulls out, big like ledger-looking book. Well, he has an opening in his schedule. How does 2 months from now sound?
We would really like to see. Can I make a persuasion check to ask him? Look, can we really need? It is important that we see him. Of dire importance.
Sure, make a persuasion check.
He might be willing to meet with me sooner if he knows who he's meeting with.
Oh, and who are you?
Oh, you haven't seen my window?
No. Who are you again?
I strike the same pose that Goulash is striking in that stained glass window.
All right. You see his eyes kind of go wide a bit. You would have advantage on this check because of that.
Does that jog your memory at all?
Yeah, he kind of he looks rather nervous. He's like, yeah, hold here a second, and he runs off to the back. A few seconds later, he comes back. The Cardinal will see you now.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Please don't kill me.
All right, Goulash is going to stroll in there to see the Cardinal.
I think he thinks that you were threatening to kill him.
Oh, it might have come off that way.
Well, you can remember the pose you make on the window as you strangling to death, Zugtamy, so...
Oh, yeah.
It is a little intimidating. Alright, so you walk in there and you see a...
He knew the truth.
And you see a fit, middle-aged dwarf sitting behind a, large rock table. Yes. Yes, you're Goulash, right? Savior of Zugtamy, was it?
Not quite, but...
I'm not one for all these big fancy titles. They mean me a cardinal because I know how to handle a ship.
Well, fortunately for you, that's why I'm here. Have you been following the situation over in Arkazar at all?
Of course.
Well, me, along with the giant lords of the Death Step, Frippy and her gnome army, we've been working hard to drive them out of there, and we've managed to drive them back to the coasts. What I'm trying to get off the ground now is one final push, but to do it I need the help of the Holy Seas Navy.
I see. And what exactly does this help entail?
I would then proceed to explain the plan going forward, which is to use the Seas Navy to transport a force of Kudal mercenaries, along with any other forces we could pick up from across the western continent, in a assault on the North Shore.
Yes, I can see that. Well, there are some conditions that would be required, but it can be done.
I figured it would be popular with the Holy See for obvious reasons.
It is, but we wish to avoid simply creating a bigger problem for us in the future. There are two conditions. Well, as much as I might dislike it, I didn't get this position purely because of my military skills, but also because of my political acumen. I've seen people like you before. If you were to take these mercenaries, and if you were to win the day against Arkazar, it is likely that you would install yourself as ruler of this now conquered land. Yes?
A crusader states of sorts.
Indeed.
I won't lie, the idea may have tempted me a few times.
Oh, there's no need to be modest. We expect that to happen. Much prefer you in charge of that land than the undead. I assure you that. But if you want our assistance in accomplishing that goal, we need assurances from you that should you succeed, should you form your crusader state, one, that you recognize and accept the independence of the church, that is, the See of the Masked Gods, within your lands. That is, churches are inviolable.
And two,
we pick the priests. It will be papal investiture.
Oh, classic Pope. I'm not saying this out loud.
As long as you recognize that, the church has its own authority to deal with things, and that, the church is to be inviolable, we shall give you your ships, and assist you in all ways that we can in accomplishing your crusade.
Excellent.
He pulls out a scroll, and you can see it's been already signed by the Pope, with the papal seal and his seal on. He says, "This is the treaty. Lay your signatures upon it. Both copies, mind you. One for us, one for you. And we will arrange your ships."
I'll give you a minute to look over that, and for one of you to read it to me.
Arcturus will read the terms and conditions to Goulash.
Sure.
Octavius!
Arcturus will do no such thing. He is very busy right now.
Yeah, doing the same task over.
Let's see, his schedule is booked until... Oh my.
I'll be back in a second.
So the Cardinal... Out of game. The Cardinal wants us to allow him to have churches within our kingdom, and the churches would be not under our jurisdiction. Is that basically what the gist of it was?
Yes, they would essentially be extraterritorial enclaves.
Yeah, every church is like a miniature embassy.
You're right. Got it.
I imagine this is how most nations that follow the See of the Masked Gods do business.
It's how the sea would like them to do business.
A lot of seem right, because we wouldn't have, if they have people hiding out from us that hide in a church, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
Not without the head of the church's permission, no.
Right.
Wait, what am I walking back into?
I was explaining to Mr. how this would work. Essentially that if someone runs in there, because Mr's right, if someone was to run into the church and ask for sanctuary, you wouldn't, under this treaty, you would not be able to send in your troops to retrieve that guy. Doing so would be essentially invading the sea. You would be declaring war.
Goulash will not say this out loud, but there are problems for today and there are problems for tomorrow.
That is, we're talking out of character right now, but that doesn't seem like a very good deal for us, because how many churches are they going to install? And
yeah, I imagine
they
as many
get
as
to pick their priests. What if they send in soldiers or mercenaries? Or
the sea doesn't really have much of a regular military. They have a navy, but
they have a navy. They have defensive forces on the sea. They have military units that they've sent around, like groups of paladins and the like. But in general, there's nothing you could do to stop them from installing a group of paladins in a church right in your capital.
Yeah, the thing is, the masked gods are the dominant faith in this world, so there's not really much that can be done about the cultural power they already have.
Is it that they're the dominant faith, or just the faith? To my knowledge, there are no gods other than the masked gods.
Well, I imagine no, actually that's true, but there are certainly people who worship demons.
I get all of that, and I understand that the church serves the masked gods, and we'll have a temple to the masked gods in each one of our things. The only thing that bothers me is the church is a separate entity from our kingdom. They're more willing to advance their own kingdom as opposed to our kingdom.
What's
and
this our kingdom thing you're talking about? Okay. I don't recall sharing a kingdom with you.
Well, okay, fine. Anyway, but still doesn't change the point. if we are on bitter terms with them for any reason, that just doesn't seem like a good idea to sign a treaty like that. It just doesn't. It seems like we're giving them too much power in our own nation.
Pete?
Yeah.
Catholic Church. Sorry, not Pete. Mr. Catholic Church.
So, at the end of the day, and Goulash is not saying this, the treaty is just a piece of paper. Ultimately, if the church decides to become a thorn in our side down the line, they don't have much of a military that they can come after us with. The bigger problem is that they're an extremely influential cultural force that would be difficult to get rid of in a way that is popular.
Because there will be it's hard to raise an army against people that are against it and people that are against you, you know?
Yeah, even though they don't have an army themselves, though they also don't need one.
No, what I mean is, like, let's say the church has all these people that believe in the church. And let's say the church, the country, sets up a doctrine that would be harmful to our country. Now, we can't physically stop them because most of our citizens are believers of the church. So we can't raise an army to stop them amongst our own people because most of our own
Even the individual churches being independent does not give them carte blanche to do whatever, though. They still rely on us for everything because they would exist within our country.
I'm just untrustworthy at the church.
Well, we can, if we decide to stop trusting them
kill
later.
Us before, you know, for their own advances. They have tried to kill y'all before.
Yeah, that was for the greater good, and I survived.
The greater good.
I'm just saying, you know.
You know, that makes me wonder what their secret histories say.
You wouldn't know because, you know, it's a secret.
Indeed.
Exactly. I mean, signing, it may not bother these characters, but if we're using the same world, it might come up later on in the story, you know, later on in the game.
You might be right, Uriel, but that is an easier problem to have later.
Okay. I just wanted to voice my opinions. If we're still going forward,
you're not wrong. They're definitely getting a lot out of this agreement.
Yeah, I just wanted to voice my opinions about it and my worries, you know. But taking all that into consideration, I mean, we could set up special trainees to watch each priest, you know, to join the church and to watch each priest if something shady goes on to report back to us, you know, stuff like that.
Somehow I feel like that would violate the treaty.
Yeah, but, you know, it's just, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. May make a difference in 20 years, you never know. But I just wanted to voice that, but I'm willing to sign the petition with everybody else. So let's get back to the game.
Wait, why would I be signing it?
He said the three of us. I think it would mostly just be Goulash signing it.
Well, just in case like one of you dies and the other guy becomes a leader, he prefer all of your signatures on it.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, because Father Uriel will probably be in the kingdom longer than Goulash will.
We're basically signing like an IP agreement for a country.
Yes, essentially.
Octavius has no desire for leadership. Not in a Crusader state. If there's something he has to sign, like abdicating a claim there.
That's internal to you guys, as far as the church is concerned. Church basically says if you take control of that, you will be giving him this. That's kind of the structure of the treaty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. So after it's been read to me,
what exactly does a Crusader state mean? What is that?
A Crusader state is, historically speaking, the kingdoms that were created in the Holy Land by European Crusades. Basically, a coalition of different people would kind of form up. They'd go to the Holy Land, kick the shit out of the local people, and then divvy up the land into whatever kind of usually Western European feudal system they were operating in.
Got it.
Of course, the difference here is that we're not kicking the shit out of the local people, we're just kicking the shit out of the rulers.
Yeah,
I imagine all of the
undead
regular non-undead people who live in Arcazar would probably welcome us with open arms.
It's really weird. This is gonna sound really weird, but when we attack the leaders, wouldn't our other selves be attacking the?
No, that has already happened.
Okay.
Yeah, this is past that part.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just weird. Timeline is just weird.
I mean, if I'm being honest, Octavius's goal currently is probably operate as Goulash's battle mage for the time being. You know, help ensure that victory, and then withdraw back to the family in order to beef up the bloodline.
Yeah, it's almost perfect. You have me at the head, and then you have one guy tied to a prominent royal family, and then another guy tied to the church.
Wait, prominent royal family?
The Septimi?
Oh, they're not.
I mean, they would become a royal family.
Oh, okay. I mean, I thought you meant like back in Ravum. Yeah, back in Ravum, unless Underdark has some stuff I'm not aware of, the Septimi are not royal in any way.
Family. Well, they seem like they're wealthy. I mean, they're a noble family.
They're old historical blood. Their current political and economic standing is something I've left more in the realm of Underdark. I just know that they keep a close track of their own lineage. I don't know how their lineage fits into the greater history. Figured that'd be more Underdark's domain as the Dungeon Master.
Alright, well, I'm signing.
Okay. You sign it.
I sign it as well, yeah. I guess we all do.
Octavius has no desire to take command.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, well, he'll sign it.
I will note, Goulash's signature is not identifiable as any sequence of characters in any known language.
Probably not.
Forever, yeah, until Goulash, yeah.
But it is being witnessed by a Cardinal of the Sea. Which is good enough. Yeah, so they give you your ships. You guys go to the Koodle group. There's a well-established way of just hiring a company of men. So it's basically, it is like 10,000 gold for a company of 1,000 soldiers.
Alright, well, do we want to blow all of our money on this?
There are 3 companies available total.
Sorry, it's, can you repeat that, Under? It's what per company?
10,000 gold per company. 3 companies available.
That's very convenient. We just got 30,000 gold.
I don't think I still have 30,000.
No, you do. We got paid 10,000 a piece.
Yes, but I bought spell components.
Okay, well, you didn't.
Some of my spell components are $1,000 a pop.
Okay, well, how much money did you spend?
I bought 5 spell components of each. So, like 5,000? Like 1,000? I don't know.
Well,
At least 1,000.
if you know how much money you spend, I can cover what is missing from your share.
Yeah,
Because I myself
money
also have 10,000 gold, personally.
Oh, you already have another 10,000? Oh, well.
Yeah, from all that stuff that we found and sold. That got me up to like 10,000.
Yeah. Heroes Feast. I got 5 Heroes Feast, and those were $1,000 a pop.
Okay, well, if you can figure out how much money you spent, you can spend that from my money.
Okay.
Or actually, you know what? No, keep your money. I will cover your share of the 10,000. So there will be 2,000.
Right. Okay.
Or 20,000 for me.
Right. Okay.
I know Octavius is... How should I put this? Given Octavius's long-term goals, the 10,000 he will require for himself.
So you're not spending your 10,000 on an army.
Correct.
Alright, well then that means we only have enough for 2.
Which, quite frankly, will be a feat in and of itself. Like, think about the story that'll be.
Yeah.
Goulash the Conqueror crushed the northern Archazarian forces with a mere force of 2,000.
Oh, we're not using just 2,000. I'm paying that money now to have them on retainer. Now we're going to start touring the rest of the continent to see who else will join us. And since we have the backing of the Sea of the Masked Gods, I imagine it won't be too hard.
I see. Alright, so 6 months go by as you leave the Kudal group with a couple companies of mercenaries and go on a tour around the Laside Mountains in the continent of Ravum. The flag of the sea, kind of covering the ships on your crusade. Men sign up all the way from Ikristan to the Vudabor clans. At some point, even some pirate ships hoist the flag of the crusade and join in, figuring it would be good raiding. At the end of the 6 months, you break away from the land near the Principality of Bession and cross the Grendure Ocean, making your way to the Confederation of Arcazar.
This is meant to be a pincer attack, so when we do that, I would like to send the flying ship ahead of us back to the Peaks of Death to alert Frippidith and the Giants so that they can come in from their side.
Indeed, so as you and your crusade begin making landfall on the north and the west, the giant lords of the Death Step, backed by Frippidith and her gnomes, charge in from the east and the south, surrounding the Archazarians on the west side of the peninsula. It takes 3 years of bloody combat as the last of the Archazarian resistance gives way, and you establish your country on the west side of the Peaks of Death. Pockets of Archazarian resistance still exist to the east of it, between the Peaks of Death and the Sea of Thorns, but the west side of the continent, the west side of this peninsula, is yours. Frippidith agrees to allow you to remain as the ruler of the Flatlands, she retaining her sovereignty over the Peaks of Death itself, the giant lords going to their mountain fortresses with her. They basically become close allies over time.
Cool.
Very cool.
So the question is then, Goulash, is what do you name your country?
Are there any suggestions? It's not going to be Arcazar.
They done goofed.
No, we're not naming it that.
Come on!
Do you know the name of your capital city?
What kind of place is it?
It's a frozen tundra.
Frozen tundra?
Yeah, near the coast, because of the ocean, there's some like scrubland and stuff there. But you don't have a whole lot of great farmland, except for like a few patches of it here and there. And then once you start going more inland, it's very cold.
The haughty Viking kingdom of Berg. The dragon.
No, there's got to be something better than that we can do.
Well, it sounds like
I don't just want to name it after me.
Oh, bummer.
Isengard. Hey, name it Evilly.
What kind of government is Goulash installing?
That's a good question. I imagine it would be sort of like a Khanate almost. Since that would probably appeal to Goulash on a personal level.
As a barbarian, wouldn't it be more of a...
Alright, so if it's a Khanate in terms of how it broadly functions, perhaps a reference to Goulash's origins within Archazarian society. Was there a particular word that was used for that kind of outcast? Or perhaps social strata?
Not really.
Yeah.
You know, what,
I've got,
I mean,
I've got very
slave.
little to draw from for a good name here. What did you say was the name of the ocean we crossed?
The ocean is the Grendure Ocean.
Oh, that's that whole big ocean. We can't just name it after that.
What about that strait?
The strait is unnamed.
Well, it'll probably be
It's a bit big to be just a strait. I mean, it's a strait that's like, 3,000 miles across at the thinnest.
Yeah, I mean, you could call it the Sea of whatever, if you want to get specific.
You can call that the Sea of Goulash.
No. It's the,
Lake Septimus. We need a king. What? Depends on what kind of. I don't know what you mean when you say what kind of government it's going to be.
Well, I imagine the country would need managing, but Goulash doesn't want to do that. That seems like it would be more like Octavius or Uriel's thing.
Probably be, yeah. Okay.
If you want to be on board with this, you got to run the country after I'm done taking it over.
Okay. Then you will have the immortal ruler of Father Uriel. Because Father Uriel.
When I said run the country, I meant like bureaucratically.
Well, yeah, but he would still be, yeah.
Right. So you've got the leader is Goulash, and then you got the minister Uriel.
Yeah. The minister that's always minister forever.
But does he live forever?
He's robotic. Uriel will not age and will not die unless he dies. He can die in combat, but he can't die of old age.
I mean, in a really technical sense, Goulash, the three of us can achieve immortality. Father Uriel is actually immortal, and then I have the ability to just continue to produce clones. And I mean, quite frankly, Octavius's goal is going to be to insulate the Septimus bloodline through excessive clone. Backups atop backups. So technically speaking, Goulash, you can be in charge forever.
Yeah, I mean, he would be an absolute ruler.
For a nominal fee for each time you want me to clone.
Yeah, that'll be no problem. But what to name it, though?
I don't know. See, all my names come from video games that I've played, and I don't know.
All right. So we know you're running a Khanate. And
what does that mean?
Wait, what was the name of the city within Arcazar, where all that stuff happened near the beginning?
Oh, the old capital?
Yeah.
Let me find it.
I mean, we could just name it after that.
We were raised underneath. Yeah, like the cognate of
Nockvoxnad?
It doesn't have a great ring to it.
No, it really doesn't for a kingdom, no.
Plus, I don't want to use, the Arcazarian name.
Well, you could use the old name for it, from the Union of 28. Well, because it was built on the ruins of Lormry.
I like that.
Yeah. Lormry cognate.
No, not a cognate. That was a style of organization used by Arcazar, so we can't use that.
Wait, they use Khanates?
No, they were a confederation.
Oh, I thought you...
The Khanates are more like the Kudo group.
What's a cognate? What is that?
A Khanate is run by a Khan. Like Genghis Khan.
I thought he was saying cognate, and I was like, that's interesting.
That's another name for the same system. It depends on the language.
Wasn't Genghis Khan a barbarian, though?
Okay. As a person that has... Okay.
What I mean is, what kind of government was that?
So a cognate is... Well, really, it just kind of specifies that it was a group of horse nomads historically that were the ones that founded it, typically out of Central Asia or the Eurasian steppes. so they tend to be of a certain bent.
No matter.
In practice, they tended to be absolute monarchies in a lot of cases. What would usually happen for a line of succession is, well, at least in a lot of them, they would, of their heirs, they would decide which one of them is going to become the heir to everything. In the case of Genghis Khan himself, he actually split his empire amongst several of his children, two of whom, three of the oldest kids, hated each other's guts. That would be the Golden Horde, I forget the name, but the one that controlled a chunk of the Middle East, and then the one that controlled Mongolia and China were the ones it was split into. The system itself...
Yeah.
Khanates themselves, though, tend to be rather flexible with how almost every aspect of their system works. Khanate is more of a ethnic word than it is a...
So who's the leader of a Khanate, though, is what I'm saying?
Goulash.
So you're talking about this goulash like you almost want it to be a militocracy.
A little bit.
So it's might makes right, basically?
It's kind of just a military junta.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that is the kind of thing Goulash would go for. Of course, he likes to style himself as a liberator, because that was the whole point of doing this. So I think to that end, it should be called the Vlormer Freehold.
Ooh, that's nice.
The Vlormer Freehold.
And so it shall be.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
But that is another story.
But that is a story for another time.
Okay.
It's just a picture of Goulash, pondering on his throne.
Yeah. So, leaving behind Goulash and his administrator, Father Uriel, we turn to Octavius and his 10,000 gold pieces. So after you assist Goulash, establishing his freehold, what are you intending to do?
So, Octavius's goals, are we talking like long-term life planning?
A couple of years. Like, what do you do in a couple of years?
A couple of years?
Yeah, what are you trying to accomplish here?
Kind of secure family position. And settle down for the most part. Probably become active locally within the Ravam Remnant itself. He is a potent battle mage. Gotta find
He is, yes. Yeah, which actually would attract lots of attention. And eventually, the Emperor would end up giving you a earldom in the Ravam Remnants to ensure your loyalty to him. Basically he makes you a powerful noble. Makes you a relatively powerful noble, gives you a bunch of land and serfs. And in the meanwhile, whenever, say, the Kingdom of Chaos decides to pick up, he just says, hey, would you mind going over there and nuking a couple of their armies?
And I do actually have the nuke army spell.
Exactly. Which means that, while you're alive and you're acting as this Earl, the Ravam Remnants, their position is pretty well secured, simply because you can pop up onto a battlefield and just decimate the enemies there. It actually creates it's sort of like a Cold War, but it's also the longest stretch of peace the northern part of that continent has known for a generation. Because no one wants to attack when there's a level 19, level 20 wizard about to nuke everything.
Excellent. And I guess from that hold, Octavius shall set the roots of the Septimi deep into the earth.
Indeed, it is the beginning of the Septimi dynasty of that earldom.
Yeah, I imagine this whole freehold will sort of be held up on three pillars, where the central pillar is Goulash, and the image that he projects that sort of holds the whole thing together ideologically, while also connecting it to the gnomes and Fribbydinth and the giants in the mountains. And then to his left and right, you have the Septimi, who are now like a very important noble family within the Freehold. And then on the other side, you have Uriel, who like manages everything with the church and stuff.
Nice. And with that is the conclusion of this campaign.
Did we just create a campaign setting?
You've made significant alterations to it.